Hello everybody, welcome on today's video. Today I'm going to repot this little yew, and you might remember this from last year's video when I had to put this tree that came out of this pot in this one, because this one is a little deeper. But well, I regretted this because I really liked the other pot much more, but it was not possible at the time because the roots were too thick and I only could remove just a small part. So now I'm going to have a look if the tree rooted well, and if I can I will cut back some of the lower roots just to use my little oval pot again. So I'm going to get this out of the pot and see what we have. So the tree is not fixed in the pot. Oh man, this is a whole lot of roots. Yeah, this is great. Now I just hope that these roots come from quite high. Yeah, the moss is nice too. So I'm going to try to save some. First idea is that I have a few roots here at the top, which is exactly what I wanted, what I needed. And if I think there's enough of these roots, I might be able to lower this, because you see this is the problem. I have this thick pieces of wood here, and I hope you can see them, and I really must get rid of these in order to get the tree a little deeper. So the thing is that this piece of wood is gigantic, and it's here, it's all over the place. So I really have to bare root this tree to see exactly what I'm doing. You see already nice little white tips here. I was quite surprised when I saw the buds on this tree opening, because it's a little early for use in the year, but well, the weather is what it is, and you don't have to live with your calendar when you do bonsai, but you have to see what your trees are doing. It's the tree that dictates the action. So I'm going to bare root this tree, and I'll be back to you when it is nice and clean and washed. Again, you don't have to bare root your trees every time you repot them. You should be careful, especially with conifers, but sometimes it is necessary. So this is done now. I have to clean the moss from this trunk too, because it's climbing up the deadwood, and that's not good because it is going to bite into the deadwood. So I'll do that with a little toothbrush, which I'm going to get now. Just removing the last pieces of moss and algae from treeing the roots here. Here you see that the tree is gaining some maturity, because the bark is starting to peel off and having this fantastic reddish color. So now for the difficult parts, I'm going to have to get rid of, well, at least 1 centimeter of this thick wooden structure here. Hope it is on camera. Yeah. And I'm going to have to nibble my way through this, but I think it is possible this year, because the tree formed quite a lot of roots more high. I just repositioned the camera so you can see and I can work. Just doing this a few millimeters at the time. With little trees like that, it is, well, every centimeter counts. And you have to do it piece by piece and slowly. I still did not remove any fine roots, I think, but there's going to be a moment when I cannot avoid this, when I'm doing the sides, like here. Well, this is going quite nice, but something you cannot see, of course, is I smell the smell of an old swamp, you know, and that means that this soil is very old and should have been removed last year, but of course I could not reach it then. So I think I'm going to wash this out. You see all this mud, it doesn't smell good, and if it doesn't smell good, well, probably it is not good. So I'm just going to remove this old soil in a bucket. I already got a few centimeters now, I think more than I thought. The big piece of chunk of wood was technically just one root with no roots on it, and probably this was rotting and causes the smell I was talking about. But I still got plenty of roots left. So what I'm gonna do now is just trying to get this as flat as possible. I don't think I really have to remove a whole lot more to get this nice in the pot. And of course I can put this tree a little deeper in the pot. Maybe you saw the video on the big yew tree that I have, where I'm trying to make a, this is a thick root, you see, this is 1 centimeter in the pot, no doubt. Yeah, I was saying, the big yew tree, yews, they grow roots quite easily when they are immersed in substrate. So sometimes this is a little scary if you do that for the first time, but you have to do it one piece at the time, one bit at the time every year, and don't touch the roots on the top. So I think this is good. I'm going to clean up this mess a little. So the pot is ready, clean and everything, and now if I put this tree in it, I think I can say it comes more than deep enough, and this looks very nice. Of course I will have to take care not to put a too thick ground layer in it. And the angle as it stands alone is quite okay, I think. So the deadwood is going one way and the living part is going slightly another way. So this is what I want. Okay, so let's put some substrate in here. So just a little, really a thin layer, just to cover the drainage screens of this stick. I noticed that I had to compensate a little at the back and at this side. Like so. Just checking. And now a nice layer of fine material. So you see, we didn't put a whole lot in it, but you already lost 1 centimeter of height in your pot. So it's not easy to do this the way you like it. I'm going to open up this roots now. Place the pot, the tree not dead center in the pot. I'm going to put it a little more to this side because the main trunk is going to that side. I could cut these roots here, but since I cut quite a lot of the roots below, I'm just taking this safe. I'm going to untangle them and already wrap them around the pot, which is of course something you don't want to do ideally, but well, you don't want your tree to die because it has not enough roots. So I'll probably just have to repot them next year and then cut the roots that are growing around the pots. And so every year a little work is done without hurting the tree and stressing him too much, because in the end it's the tree that will dictate if you had success or not. So this is good. Maybe see that the tree is leaning backward, and so we don't want that. We want them to lean a little forward. So this is where the putting the soil in place comes to help. So you gotta hold your tree where you want it and then work the substrate in. And in the end it should hold by itself, or you can wire your tree in, which is something a lot of people do, and it's a good trick. The only problem when you wire your trees in is that if you don't pay attention how you put your wire and how tighten you put it, it could mark your roots, and this is something you can it's not easy to set that right. And now you have to wire your trees in if you transport them a lot, like going to exhibitions or club meetings, and you want to take your trees with you when you transport them in your car. Well, it's best to have them wired in. But since I am in no club, or I don't do exhibitions, it's not really something for me. These trees, they stay on the benches here. So wiring in is not really necessary. Got rid of all the air pockets now. And I'm going to add some small pieces of moss, but I'm going to add them just to the sides, because in this lava this moss seems to thrive tremendously well, which is nice for the moss, but not too good for the tree. This is still some of the moss that I took from another tree. just putting it randomly. And now I'm going to water this tree. I am very happy that this little yew is back in its oval pot, because I think it is really a whole lot better. I'm very happy with the position of the tree in the pot. It gives some nice movement having him more this way. And this is only possible because it took me, I think, about 4 or 5 years to get these roots how I needed them to be to get this tree in the pot in a nice position. Now, of course, this tree is not finished, and it's going to enter a phase in its career that might get a little complicated. But because you see, when you start a tree like this, you try to keep as many branches as you can, because, well, you want the tree to grow vigorously and have lots of green, so it develops better. But there comes a point when all these branches are nicely filled like they are now, and I'll have to make a selection now, because if you want pads to form, this is not possible with all these branches. So I'll have to think quite some time about how I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to select some of these branches, so probably the lowest one I'm going to keep. But I'm not sure about these two. One of these two should go, but if one of these two goes, then I'll have to reposition maybe this one, and look at how I can work this out with the top, etc., etc. So this is not a decision you take lightly. You have to think of it before you do it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with this tree. I'm going to look at it, I'm going to study it, and see what's the best that I can do. And for the rest, I'm not going to cut anything, because, well, this is one shot, you know. You don't regrow branches of 1 centimeter on a yew in a year. So yeah, so this is all for today with this little yew. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.